Greetings, I am Zander. Welcome to another one of my videos. Herein, I'll break down the Schuman resonance and how the Earth and the human body are of the same frequencies. This will be a little bit longer, so please forgive my notes. Now, the Schuman resonance, according to Wikipedia, are a set of spectrum peaks in an extremely low frequency portion of the Earth's electromagnetic field spectrum. These resonances are global electromagnetic resonances excited by the lightning discharges in the cavity formed by the Earth's surface and the ionosphere. Our planet has a rhythm that has played a major role in governing the evolution of life. We don't just live on the Earth, we live inside of it, in that unique cavity that's formed between the Earth's surface and the ionosphere. Within that cavity, you and I swim in a veritable sea of invisible energies and oscillating fields. The smallest changes in one intertwined area carry over turbulence into the others. Every second, a multitude of pulses travel around the world in this unique resonant chamber between the Earth and the ionosphere, sending colluding signals to all the microorganisms. All microorganisms. These signals couple us to the Earth's magnetic field. Now, Schumann resonances drive the harmonizing pulse for life in our world. We all march to the cadence of this terrestrial drummer, our planetary heartbeat, which sets the tempo for health and well-being. Damaging this planetary heartbeat could be detrimental to all life on this planet. In the name of progress, this Earth pulse is now threatened with the ever-growing phenomenon of man-made electropollution, or 5G, in an advancing technological age. Now, brainwave evolution. Louis B. Hainsworth was among the first to suggest that human health is linked to a geophysical framework by way of the naturally occurring Schumann frequencies. His theory identified naturally occurring features which determined the frequency spectrum of human brainwave rhythms. He concluded that these frequencies of human brainwaves evolved in response to these signals. Conditions for evolutionary changes in the human brainwave patterns have now been established. Hainsworth theorized that the frequencies of naturally occurring electromagnetic signals circulating in the electrically resonant cavity bound by the Earth and ionosphere have governed or determined the evolution or development of frequencies of operation of the particular human brain wave signals. In particular, the alpha rhythm is so placed that it can under no circumstance suffer an extensive interference from naturally occurring signals. So, commenting on the unique correlations of alpha brainwave activity and its relationship to Earth ionospheric cavity resonance, Hainsworth has said, "As human beings, we have extraordinary potentials we have hardly begun to study, much less understand. Creative gifts, intuitions, talents that are unpredictable or emergent may become stabilized in generations to come." Great awakening. Hopefully, we can learn to understand both our emergence from the essentially electromagnetic environment and facilitate our potential for healing, growth, and non-local communications. Beg pardon. In a state of deep relaxation, slow rhythmic sine wave patterns in the 6 to 8 Hz range can be detected. Sympathetic resonance is a harmonic phenomenon in which a formerly passive string or vibratory body responds to external vibration to which it has a harmonic similarity. So, this is the classic tuning fork analogy. So when you strike a tuning fork and you bring the other one next to one that has not been struck, it will vibrate automatically via resonance. Okay, Certain types of oscillators can alter the environment through sympathetic resonance as well. This means that with the right kind of environmental stimulus, you can entrain standing waves not only in the brain but in the body as well. Continually reinforced waveforms created by resonance can result in large oscillations which entrain other circuits in the body tuned to those frequencies. As the Earth naturally pulses at various frequencies, this acts as kind of a master entrainment signal that entrains a whole hierarchy of frequencies, including those in the human heart, brain, and mind. As wondrous as this may seem, it makes perfect sense when you realize that everything we do is done within the sea of entraining energy pulses produced by the Schuman resonances. The ionosphere that comprises the ceiling of the Schumann cavity is made up of electrically charged particles. This highly charged layer makes the ionosphere act as kind of a capacitor for the Earth. And there's a difference in the electrical potential between the Earth's surface and the ionosphere, which actually makes it an electrical generator, which is why Tesla's theory was sound for free energy. You might think that this electromagnetic field around the Earth is kind of a gel. When we move, all those movements are transmitted into the environment via this field and vice versa. These fields not only affect our bodies, they also influence our body's electrical charges. Now, as we stand on the ground, our body is grounded. Our body creates kind of a basin within the electrostatic field by distorting its lines of force. Pardon. In 1981, Dr. Richard Allen Miller published a scientific paper in which he showed that this process couples us as human beings with the isoelectric field of the planet. The scientist after whom the Schumann resonance is named, Winfred, calculated the Earth ionosphere cavity resonance frequencies in 1957, and he found the most predominant standing wave to be around 7.83 hertz, which is fabulous for me as a hypnotist. I'll explain later. In a tuned system of oscillators, when one oscillator begins vibrating, the other oscillator will eventually begin vibrating at the same frequency. This process is referred to as entrainment or kindling. Kindling. Now, kindling also, nicely, is refers to a neuronal entrainment in the brain. As this kindling or kindling ignites more neurons globally across the surface of the brain, it helps facilitate a synchronous, coherent state of consciousness, such as that in deep meditation. So interestingly, the 7.83 hertz Schumann resonance falls within the range of the human brainwaves precisely in the middle where the alpha brainwave and the theta brainwave range meets. Let me repeat that. The Schumann resonance of 7.83 hertz is precisely in the middle where the alpha and the theta brainwave range meets. This is also known as the Ohm resonance in Eastern practices when they speak out their meditation and they do the Om. I'm sure they do it much better than I. However, it's the same frequency. And it also helps the body and the mind vibrate when you use your vocal cords to do that. Now, as such, practices that elicit this range of brainwaves, such as meditation, help facilitate deep coupling of human physiology with the Earth's Schumann resonance. Various scientific experiments have suggested that this mutual coupling of human physiology with the Earth creates kind of a resonance in which energy and information are most efficiently transferred between the two. This may be how the planet communicates with us as humans via the universal language of resonance. And this is likely one of those reasons why being out in nature can be so enlivening and healing for human beings, as long as you don't bring any man-made stuff with you. In his scientific paper entitled Schuman Resonances and the Human Psychobiology, Dr. Richard Allen Miller states that ample anthropological evidence shows that humans have intuitively synchronized with the planetary resonance throughout human history and back through the mists of time. There is cross-cultural evidence demonstrating a variety of ritualistic practices which enhance this harmonization with the planetary field. Perhaps the most obvious drivers of these trance states are shamanic drumming and trance dance, arguably employed over 50,000 years ago and up until today in some native cultures. Pulsing light is another driver. A further example comes from the use in both the Jewish and the Muslim faith of bobbing and swaying while praying or reading holy books. The trancing phenomena can be presumed to ingrain texts at a deeper level and to create experiences to go along with the conceptual indoctrination. It may also be linked in some manner to hypnotic gestures or mudras and speech, hypnotic speech, and therefore to charisma or so-called mana personalities. Pardon. Now, Mead and Bastian reported a technique transmitted to Balinese children which this culture intuitively employed to harmonize their communities. They discovered that the parents encouraged their children to vibrate parts of their body harmonizing to the Schuman resonance cycle. And you can do the same thing. You may already do so unconsciously. If you sit in a chair and move your foot so that it's resting on the ball of your foot, and you get it at the right angle, the whole leg will start to vibrate. And it goes into oscillation. That oscillation is so close to the Schumann resonance cycle as to be virtually the same. So that's why Balinese parents encourage their children to do these things, and it helps them get into a trance. Can anybody intentionally induce this healing or energizing Schumann frequency? Yeah, absolutely. There are numerous ways to entrain the human brain, heart, or even the entire human organism to the Schumann resonance. Currently, scientific terminologies and so-called technologies, energetic encoding technology, and scalar wave entrainment. They use completely silent entrainment frequencies to entrain your mind, brain, and body to the Schumann resonance. With these technologies, you may have noticed that you feel more centered, relaxed, grounded, and focused as you listen to these technologies or to other natural ancestral musics, which you can actually hear. The longer you are exposed to this energy medicine technology, the stronger you will feel it. And I must find a different word for technology. I don't like that word. Take knowledge. Don't like that word. Now, when speaking about the use of such entrainment practices and methodologies in his book, Everyday Soul, Awakening the Spirit in Daily Life, author Bradford Neely stated that its purpose is to get outside the limitations and constraints of isolated individual mind and connect with something greater. It has any number of names, but is the greater mind links us to one another and to nature as a whole. Now, in that, I would probably say, or I will say, the higher mind or the higher self is connected to all. Now, it's a very natural capacity in our bodies, are intuitively capable of affecting, vibrating with the pulse of life itself. That's why we're alive, moving around. Okay. By consciously linking ourselves to the Schumann resonance, we are essentially taking strategic advantage of the natural harmonic relationship between the Earth and ourselves. We are intimately interwoven with the Earth's low-frequency isoelectric, magnetic, and electrostatic fields. But modern-day electropollution can often interfere with this natural connection, and it does. Numerous scientific studies show a positive correlation between various psychic phenomena and the 7 to 8 hertz range of the human brain waves, which also just so happens to correlate with the fundamental Schumann resonance of 7.83 hertz. In fact, there are hundreds of scientific papers that offer evidence of this psychic phenomena for you to explore. Michael Fursinger, PhD of Laurentian University in Canada, has conducted a numerous scientific experiments that led him to theorize that the 7 to 8 hertz range of brainwave frequencies acts as kind of an training frequency to link the human mind and brain with the Earth's geomagnetic field. Further research has also showed a strong correlation between geomantic activity and the psychic phenomena. This has led some scientists to believe that the Earth's magnetic field can act as kind of a psychic information highway or a psychic internet. As this may be why the Schumann resonance has been linked to various psychic phenomena and enhanced creativity. I'll pause for a minute for a quote. Psychic researcher Leon Sidroff. For a decade, Robert Beck researched the brainwave activity of healers from all cultures and religious backgrounds. He goes on to enumerate psychics, shamans, dowsers, Christian healers, seers, ESP readers, kahuna, santeria, Wicca practitioners, and others. Independent of their belief system, each exhibited nearly identical EEG signatures during their healing moments at a 7.8 to 8 hertz brainwave activity, which lasted from 1 to several seconds, and which phase and frequency synchronized with the Earth's geoelectric micropulsations, otherwise known as the Schumann resonance. So the healers, regardless of background, were able to conduct their healings, and they did so by connecting to the Earth's resonance, or otherwise known as the Schumann resonance, of 7.8 hertz. Scientific proof. I'll leave it there. Now, the first 5 Schumann resonances overlap with the brain frequency bands or waves. Brain waves are grouped according to their frequencies and are labeled with Greek letters. Their most common frequencies include delta, theta, alpha, and beta. So delta is 0.5 to 4 hertz. This brain rhythm occurs in deep dreamless sleep or unconsciousness. This is associated with drowsiness or other things, right? Theta is 4 to 7 hertz. Now this brain rhythm is associated with drowsiness. It also occurs at the first stage of sleep and during deep meditation when we're awake but open to mental imagery. It's been associated with creativity, intuition, daydreaming, and fantasizing. It's believed to reflect activity from the limbic system, and increased activity is observed in anxiety, behavioral activation, and inhibitions. Now the alpha is between 7 and 12 hertz. Now this is the major rhythm seen in a normal, relaxed adult. It is present during most of life. It is considered a common state during alertness, but not actively processing information. Alpha has been linked to creativity, right? Creative people show alpha when listening and coming to a solution, right? and mental works. Right? Alpha activity is also associated with overall mental and body/mind coordination, calmness, alertness, and learning. The beta resonance is 12 to 30 hertz. Now, the beta reflects highly active processing. It occurs during normal walking consciousness and outward attention. Slow beta between 12 and 17 hertz is normal information processing and mental activity. Now, fast beta between 17 and 30 is heightened alertness and fight or flight or anxieties. Military people use this for being on point, as it were. Now, the gamma frequency between 30 and 100 hertz is associated with waking states and can occur when we are simultaneously processing information in both brain hemispheres. Right? Whales and dolphins operate in these frequencies. Now, resonance and entrainment. Okay? Quantum physics has shown that everything in the universe vibrates and resonates with a unique frequency. Resonance occurs when a given system tuned to a certain frequency begins to oscillate or amplifies the presence of the preferential external frequency. Those frequencies that maximize or amplify a given object tuned to a specific frequency are called resonant frequencies. Together, two frequencies have the power to influence each other. Right? If both are tuned in concordance for resonance. Simply put, one vibration frequency can harmonize with another. If, for example, you strike a tuning fork with 100 cycles per second, bring in another tuning fork of the same frequency, it will vibrate the other fork, as we mentioned earlier. Right? Now, evidence shows it's possible for the brain to detect or tune into and respond to a Schuman resonance signal. Another example of resonance is demonstrated when a singer breaks a glass by singing at a certain pitch. The frequency of that tone matches the natural frequency of the glass, thereby shattering. Entrainment is the process whereby two interacting oscillating systems which have different periods, they function independently, assume a common period. The two oscillators may fall into synchronicity, but other phase relationships are also possible. The system with the greater frequency will slow down and the other will speed up. In other words, one vibrational frequency can tune to the other and train it into harmony. It's more than just plausible that humans and various Earth-like life forms are tuned to resonate to the Schumann vibrations of Earth ionosphere cavity. Research in Russia has also confirmed this phenomenon. Now, how do you become coherent with the Schumann resonance? Well, let me tell you. Fortunately, there are a few things that can be done to improve a coherent relationship with the Schumann resonance. Incorporating these things into your life daily will help you gain the benefit of the positive effects of being in harmony with the Earth's ionospheric heartbeat. Spend time in nature, such as the forest or the beach. The simple act of enjoying and being in nature's acts is like a tuning fork in training your vibration into coherence. Any nature spot will do. Walk in bare feet on the earth. Take a nap on the grass. Breathe in the fresh air. Do not take your cell phone. Don't take any electronic devices. Stay away from high-powered electrical wires. Be aware of where they are in your area. Gaze at the stars as often as possible. Listen to music that incorporates a Schumann frequency in the background during work or play. Actually, you can probably just put that on continuous repeat in your house. There are numerous commercial music CDs that incorporate the Schumann frequencies, as well as YouTube videos that are pleasant to watch and listen to. Now, you could invest in a Schuman resonator. Now, some researchers believe that producing 7.83 hertz signal within a field generator, we can reduce the irritating effects of man-made electromagnetic fields. By replicating the Earth's natural rhythm, we may be providing ourselves, at least in the immediate vicinity, with a healthier environment, and there are several devices that emit the 7.83 hertz frequency on the market available for your purchases. You can also get the plans for it if you're electronically savvy. Now, I cannot recommend a particular device, but I do encourage anyone interested in a frequency generator to do extensive research before you purchase it. Variation or deviation in a frequency can really mess you up, turn it into some sort of microwave. Let's not do that. Now, also, continually educate yourself about the wireless industry and man-made electromagnetic fields. Right! Smash the like button if you learned something, agreed, or found this interesting. Comment below to ask an educated question that you want to hear the answer to. If you love my sexy face, hit the notification bell for my next posting herein. And thank you again for lending me your ears.